So I was recently chatting with a friend, and the idea of permission came up. See, she had mentioned, for the first time that she was thinking about pursuing this idea of hers, and it would lead to starting a new business. But to do that, she would have to cancel, this contract that she had just recently gotten. And, she felt really obligated to keep going with that, and not to mention all the uncertainty and just, kind of fear that goes into starting a new business. And so she was really torn because she felt obligated to keep doing what she was doing. Like she really owed something to this contract, even though she could have gotten out of it very relatively easily, right? There wasn't going to be any big issues with that. Totally understandable. Likely no hard feelings at all. And so it was totally possible for her to do it. But for whatever reason, she just had this strong feeling that she shouldn't, right? That it wasn't right, that it didn't seem fair, even. Like I said, she just had this sense of obligation. And so that was on one side. And then she also had this like undeniable energy about her, about how strongly she felt that this new idea, this new business was the right move for her. She felt very strongly that she really wanted to do it. And when we have that, sometimes, it can make us feel very torn in that moment, and it can be very hard to make that decision and to make the moves and to do all the things to close out where we were or where we thought we were going and realign with where we really want to go for whatever reason, whatever brought that up for us. And so, and that brings up something that is really so key for all of us when we're making decisions. And it seems to pop up so often when we're thinking about starting something new, something that's like really different, that's like diverting from the path that we thought that we had for ourselves or that other people had for us. And that thing that I'm talking about here is that you don't need anyone else's permission or approval to go after your ambitions, your dreams, your goals, live your life the way that you want to. No one else has to give you permission to do that. And I just want to say that very plainly and up front because I know how all the other feelings and emotions can hold us back. The guilt that we shouldn't be doing it, or the feeling of selfishness that, we're putting ourselves first and that we're, taking advantage of whatever path we were on, or that we're not grateful for the experiences that we had. Um, and then that leads to the putting it off because, you know, should we even be doing it? Are we even really ready to do it? And of course, no one else, is maybe doing it. It's maybe a completely different path, something you hadn't really considered before. And, it could even be like your family or friends just don't get it. Believe me, I've been there. Lots of aspiring entrepreneurs have been there. And the really tragic thing that we don't really talk about a lot in this moment when these things come up for us is that if you're not very disciplined and determined in this moment, and if you don't have someone telling you that it's okay, and if you don't have someone, championing you and cheering you on as you go through and make these decisions and change your path, the really tragic thing is you could stay in that space forever. You could stay in that like in between moment where you're like, I really want to do this thing, but I don't feel like I can for whatever reason comes up for you. And even if you don't stay in that space forever, even if you do eventually get out of it, it's highly likely that you're going to be staying in this space way longer than you intended, right? When you originally had that new idea, when that new path kind of sparked and you were like really excited about it, you probably were like, let's just go down that path, right? And then that fear and that sense of obligation and that sense of not having permission kind of stopped you from continuing to go forward. And so it's okay that you're there, right? There are plenty of us who have been there. I've been there. And that place of second guessing and putting it off and feeling like you need someone else to tell you it's okay happens. But if we can just get past all of that, if we can just do it anyways, just take some action, right? Because what you want, the dreams you have, the ambitions you want to pursue, those are all enough. Any one of those is enough. You don't need any other validation or anyone else's permission to go after them. And so I just want to say this to you. If you find yourself, dragging your feet for no other reason than it's something new and different from what you've been doing, or even different, from everyone else around you, because some people, may have called you crazy or been like, have you really thought this through? Because they don't understand and they would never make that decision. That's okay. Like I said, I've been there. So many new entrepreneurs have been there. Just remember, you cannot get to that something new, that idea that you're really excited about, that thing that you've been dreaming about doing, that you really want to pursue. You cannot get there without doing something different. And you don't need anyone else's permission or validation to do that. So, I hope this puts you at ease so you can get back to building the life and business of your dreams. Until next time, keep designing your happiness. Hey there, friend. I believe that in life and in business, your mindset is the most likely thing to hold you back. So, we're going to be here every week working it out so you can move closer to that life you've only been dreaming about until now. I'll see you back here for our next episode. And if you're loving what you're hearing, please take a minute to leave a review. All right, I'll see you next time.